Were you impressed with his win against Broner?
Nah, I wasn't impressed with his win against Broner. You know, I mean, it was some basic style boxing. You know, Broner has a bad habit of making fights look like sparring sessions. You know, and he's too young and he doesn't have a high enough work rate. You know, he's one of the easiest fighters to outwork when it comes to numbers. And Mikey Garcia definitely outworked him and pretty much dominated the fight using his reach advantage. You know, they say that Broner fought at 147, but they forget that Broner was a 135-pounder too. They practically are like the same weight class for the most part, you know. So when I see lighter guys moving up and fighting in a new weight class, to me, they're still in the old weight class, just too lazy to lose the weight. You know what I mean? So I don't look at it at a 140 fight, or you know, like let's just say if, for example, Devin Alexander fought Timothy Bradley at 147, right? But to me, when I watched the fight, it was two 140-pounders fighting each other. I don't care what contract they had the fight at. What I care about is the roots and the history of what division they originated at and where they got their real celebrity status at. You know, so that's just how I feel. It's a personal thing, but that's how I am.
What do you think of Lamont Peterson's chances against Errol Spence?
Oh man, Lamont, you know, he's a challenge for a lot of guys. What matters is how bad Lamont wants it, the kind of training camp he has, the game plan that they use, and you know, he's fallen short a few times in fights, and he's come out on top a few times. So, you know, Errol said himself he's looking forward to getting the experience because he knows he's going to be in the ring with a well-experienced fighter. He might be opposed with a few challenges, but at the end of the day, you know, he's looking towards that victory, and he is the favorite going into the fight. But it's going to be, you're looking at some two good fighters.
So what are your thoughts on the growing rumors, nearly almost confirmed rumors that your former opponent, Danny Garcia, is going to be taking on Brandon Rios?
I mean, whatever, man. It's a comeback fight for him after a loss. You know, I always feel like you should never be too hard about who fights whom after one has lost, okay? You know, it was quite impressive for Kell Brook to fight Triple G and then to fight Errol Spence, but a lot of people don't do that, okay? So he'll be back in the ring. He's trying to have a good performance. I hope the performance goes as well as him and his team want. And then you can start demanding that he get back in the mix. And technically, because I know where people are, what you know, people and reporters are probably thinking, but you know, he can go up against some higher quality opponents after he handles his business with Brandon Rios.
So do you agree or someone condone that he did the right thing turning down Sean Porter?
Yeah. You know, I fought Danny Garcia. I fought Sean Porter, then I fought Danny Garcia. Doesn't mean that Danny needs to do the same. So it's just, and it's his team. You know, they're not comfortable with that right away. They didn't want to fight me right away. They took a warm-up fight, so I feel like they like to do that. You know, every fighter, they operate and manage their careers slightly different. And it's not the worst move. It's still, I think, a good matchup for the fans. The fight style-wise, I definitely do see Danny as the favorite. But after that, we can start, you know, you can start putting some pressure on him and say, we want to see you up against somebody else, or this guy, that guy. You can start saying whatever names, but, you know, we'll see who he wants to fight in the welterweight division. And I still believe, I was happy that I got to fight Danny so early because I believe that the welterweight division is a dangerous division for Danny Garcia.
Okay, this is my final question. Let's talk about your injury. Now, the injury you had with your elbow, does that stem back from when you had that car accident?
No.
Was it something that was reactivated?
No. It was a brand new thing. I never felt that pain in my elbow ever throughout any of my boxing matches or through any other training camp. But I did start to feel it in the training camp for Danny Garcia. I got an MRI, and the results showed that I had loose bodies floating around down in the joint region, which is hindering my elbow from locking out and doing its its job, which is promoting a whole lot of inflammation. So I was fighting inflammation, which people know is a fancy word for somewhat pain, you know. So I was fighting mild pain and inflammation in the elbow. I was icing it every day after practice, and I took some notes from my doctors. I stopped sparring a little short in that camp, and just waited it out. Did a lot of shadow boxing, did a lot of strength and conditioning, and I said, look, the doctor said I'll be okay for the fight, so I'm gonna get strong, get ready, but I'm gonna cut my sparring short, and I'm just gonna use this right elbow on the night that matters the most, which is the night of the fight. Afterwards, I rested. I spent 1 month in Japan, upon which I proposed to my wife. I came back. Came to the Sean Porter fight in April. I think my surgery was done like 2 days before that fight, and here in New York. So like I said, I'm back here in New York. I touched down. I seen my doctors. I'm getting therapy. We're feeling good. It feels like it's about to bounce back. We do need a minimum of 4 to 6, no longer than 8 weeks of rehab. I think 4 to 6 is a good number, because we really are bouncing back. It's feeling better than it ever did prior to last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. The elbow really is progressing, so that's what we want to see. With rehab, that's what you want to see as an athlete. So I look forward to being back in the ring next year.
My last question, one of your former competitors, and since this is the night of the 154-pounders, where does Demetrius Andrade fit into this whole thing going on here? I know you're a big fan of his. You've shown him a lot of love in, you know, your interviews and everything. Where's his position in this big semi-tournament they got going on?
I'm not sure. I know that he probably is the mandatory for at least one of the belts. I know at one point I saw he was the mandatory for 2 different world titles. So Andrade has been at the top of the rankings for a long time. He's a former world champion. He's had some issues with his career, but we'll see what happens to him and if he can get in this mix. You know, he definitely deserves to be in the mix. He's definitely one of the young and talented fighters in that division today. But we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, I'm not that close to his team when it comes talking wise to know what their plans are and what's going to happen. But you know, I know he wants it. I know he wants it. He's hungry, and I hope he gets his shot soon.
Keith, you already mentioned that you want to be back in 2018. One of the guys that you against him.
If I was to face Jesse Vargas, you know, Jesse Vargas is like, you know, I've seen a little bit of ups and downs with him. You know, he's looked like he's gotten a little rededicated. He's done some good things, but you know, I've never seen him as a threat. I do see him as a skilled, quality fighter, but you know, if I was to see him in the ring, I would be highly confident against him. And I'm highly confident against everybody. You know, I'm very strategic, but you know, his athleticism versus my athleticism. You know, with Sean Porter, it's really hard for a fighter to outwork Sean Porter. You know, it's not that he's unbeatable, but he brings a work rate that is hard to match, and you have to use a different form of tactic to outsmart that kind of approach. With Vargas, you know, he's not tremendous in numbers. He does have a good work rate. I think he does have a nice right hand, but you know, he's also he was a 140 pounder at one time, right? You know, so he's slightly smaller coming up, and you know, there's just many things that make me feel like I have the edge in that fight.
Key 2-time Thurman, 2-time welterweight champion in the world. That's a high accomplishment. That means you're a pound-for-pound fighter. What are the fighters on Thurman's pound-for-pound list with you?
You know, I'll be honest, man. I really don't focus too much on those rankings. It is nice to know that you've elevated into it, and if one day I'm pound for pound number 1, you know, that means a lot. You know, because it's pretty much the most respected fighter in the world of boxing. You know, that's the only only beautiful thing about that ranking, in my opinion. But you know, I just said the other day Ward was on my list, but I came back in America and found out he announced his retirement. So you know, Crawford does deserve to be there. He moved up through several weight classes. He's still undefeated. You know, Kovalev is probably still up there. You know,
Triple G, they got Lomachenko,
Triple G, Regendow. I put, is Deontay there?
That's debatable.
Debatable. See, I'd put him there.
Over
on
Joshua?
my list. Yeah, man, he's got way more fights than Joshua. Way more fights. Joshua's so young in the game. Yeah, he's so green. People want to say, you know, I respect his great victory over a great fighter, but was not in their prime. And yeah, he's still got more to give, more to show. You know, he just got his world title. Deontay's didn't have the world title. He's got way more fights, way more knockouts. So yeah, I definitely I throw him ahead of Anthony Joshua all day, every day.
And kind of you jump in here first. You know, you had a nickname at one time. You know, we got a crazy social media world.
Yeah,
people taking
sometimes
little jabs.
run time.
Yeah, but in your opinion, with the knockouts not coming as often as they were, has that allowed you to become a more dangerous all-around fighter?
A lot of people don't talk about it, but there is some truth to that statement. There's many ways to skin a cow, and there's many ways to win a boxing match. And what matters when you are training for these world-class fights is that you have a game plan to win, you know? And what a lot of people forget about the talk of one time and what one time truly is and what one time represents. I just said it before, that one time is a double-edged sword. One time is what I can do to you, but one time is what you can do to me, okay? And one time is a philosophy. One time is what I would like to achieve. It's not what I will achieve. But I've always been a power puncher. I've always looked for the knockout. But maybe lately I've strategized and done what I need to do to walk away with that W more than walk away with that KO victory. So, I mean, but ain't nothing changed. I'm still keep one-time Thurman, you know. And like you said, one time is two time. You know, I hold 2 world titles now. And I would love to get back in the ring. And every single time I'm put on the pressure, you know, it's in the back of my head, maybe you should train a little harder, maybe you should do a little bit more sprint, maybe you should dig into the heavy bag a little bit more and start focusing, go back into that dog, go back into that fighter who was getting those knockouts for the fans, not just for the fans, but for yourself, boy, because 12-round fights are not that short, you feel me? So we'll see, man, but I'm not disappointed with the way my fights have been going, my victories, and my W's, man. So we're all good, but we will be looking forward to testing every chin that steps in the ring.
All right, so you already announced that your next fight is going to be somewhere in late February or so March. You already said that it's going to be somebody ranked in the top 15 of either the WBA or the WBC. Not necessarily a known name, but the biggest question I have for you is, because of your inactivity, do you see, or does it interest you for 2018 to be a 3-fight year for you?
It would interest me to be a 3-fight year. I'm still in my prime, man, and it doesn't feel good to be on the bench. I would love to maximize revenue next year, stay busy, and just get it in, man, for myself, for the fans, and create some more hype in building up a mega fight in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Are you optimistic that 2018
Damn, I missed. I was doing all the Keith Thurman stuff. Now, y'all missed a whole lot. I got about 2 hours worth of footage. We got Errol Spence. We got Keith Thurman. But what y'all see from Keith Thurman, that's not even everything. I just decided to go live.
What's up, baby? This is your boy Deontay. One more time, I got you. I got you.
Go, let's go.
Hey, I'm gonna leave it up.
No, but both my daughters.
Oh, for real?
17th and 5th of November.
Let me go turn the camera off.
What's up, baby? It's your boy Keontae, the boss from the Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Your brother coming back in November 4th.
Here, let's take this one.
B-Day school. Now, for the unfinished job, I got to give you the lead. Started something, now I'm about to finish it. More than ever, baby. Go in the peace. Bob Squad! Oh, you missed the first, you missed the first!
That was amazing. She had no
Oh, it's shattered, girl. But it's still gonna look good because you shattered. God, I'm over. No problem.
Oh shit, we going out the other way. So what we gotta do is, hold on, let me check my battery life. Let me do it this way. Let me get my shit first. Let me get my shit first. Excuse me. Where am I going? Oh, going in here. Damn, we still rapping. We was listening to Keith Thurman for an hour. So I didn't go live. It's my little office area. So we're gonna chill back here. So I got Errol Spence, but the thing is I didn't go live. I should have did everything live. We're gonna take a walk around the arena. Ain't no more food.
Besides trophy. Is that the fight? Like, you look kind of pretty much in shape. Are you staying fresh just in case?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get fat being on the air either, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just told, I was just giving that. They pay him more money to do boxing. You know, you're gonna keep more percentage of the promotion to do boxing. You're the one that said it was so easy. You're giving concussions, you're giving pretend concussions, you're scoring pretend knockdowns. You know, you're doing all this, and this is the one that pays you more. Multiple times. It's the one that pays you. You know, it's not, and you'll never get another Mayweather fight. And nothing will ever be Mayweather money. But considering what's left, your options, you know, you're the one giving concussions here. You know, why would you rather take a tough MMA fight instead of coming to the boxing ring where's the guy you did so easily? You know what I mean? And you were giving concussions with 16-ounce gloves and headgears. Why, you know, it was so easy. Why wouldn't you go get that money? You know?
You're on the record. You said you stopped him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You stopped him in a boxing match.
I would have stopped him that day if I was in shape. If I was in shape, I had to ease off him. I was tired. And in the last 2 rounds, he actually won. He doesn't even get the balls. If I'm in shape that day, he doesn't even have the balls to come out of pocket like that on 11 and 12. He stays right in my pocket, and he continues to fold like he was folding. I didn't have the energy to stay on him. He would have got stopped that day in the gym, and that's what 16-ounce gloves and headgear. Not because I hit so hard or anything. You know, punches are punches though, and when you got no balls, you don't like getting beat up. You know what I mean? 'Cause you still got to spend a certain amount of time in the ring to not get stopped. You still have to get the distance and not get stopped. So, you know, of course I stopped him. 8-ounce gloves, no headgear. Forget about the fact that obviously the punches hurt more and you do more damage and whatnot. It's also, you know, the assault. It's going to be an assault, and he doesn't like to be assaulted. He has no balls.
So you went on record calling him a pussy. Can you just kind of elaborate on that?
I mean, what is a
He won't take an actual boxing match.
what is a pussy? What is the definition of a pussy? It's pretty relevant, right? I mean, listen, it's like he's the one that did all the talking, not me. You know, I did all the talking after I had to defend myself, and at that point, if you're a man, you got to stand. I don't know, man. This is the way where I come from. You know, I'm sure if any of you guys were raised in a place where men had to be men. You know, you back up your word, especially when it's being questioned. You back up your word. You back up what you say. You put actions behind your words. And definitely, you don't lie. And if you don't think you're lying, and people think you're lying, then you go out and prove it. You know? Especially when they're gonna pay you what they're gonna pay you for fighting me, which they're gonna pay you more than for fighting any other MMA fight. You know, so again, I mean, common sense will win here if you use common sense. You know, he's giving concussions, pretend concussions. He's scoring pretend knockdowns. He's winning pretend rounds. Against a guy who they're gonna pay him multiple times more than they'll pay him against any other MMA fighter that he's gonna have to fight. And he's not gonna do it. He's gonna tell me he'd rather go into MMA. He's gonna try to call me out into MMA. Bro, there's no Ali Act in MMA. How would you rather get ass raped by Dana White the way he ass rapes you? Because we know you don't even keep anywhere near the 100 million. Okay? How would you rather get ass raped by Dana with no Ali Act in the octagon instead of coming to boxing and fighting me and keeping at least a better percentage of your money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I find that it baffles me. If you're the one who got the better of everything and you're the one who's giving all these pretend concussions and pretend knockdowns and whatnot, I mean, I don't know. It would be like common sense to me. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as extra money. I don't want to hear about he just made this money because he got raped for half of it anyway. You know what I mean? So and it's, even if he has a nice amount of money, there's no such thing as extra money. I'm always trying to get mine. You know, I live very well. I'm not trying to stop making money. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's always trying to stay ambition filled and trying to make money. So why would you rather take the lesser fights? So I don't know. I don't even have to explain this. If anybody has any common sense, they'll understand it. But we're here.
Did it ease your mind a little bit that on the MMA hour with Ariel, Joe Cortez did say that it wasn't a knockdown?
Joe Cortez has to keep it down the middle because he got paid for Conor and he wants to get paid again by Conor. You know, they had him on a salary. Joe Cortez has to stop short of saying Paulie beat the fuck out of the guy. You know what I mean? Well, otherwise he'll never get hired by him again. You know what I'm saying? So Joe Cortez wants to give you enough to say, listen, it wasn't what Conor said, but Joe Cortez also can't say Paulie beat the life out of him. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as I had my win there, I was beating on him. You know what I mean? The guy, it wasn't even hard. I was surprised when I got to like 8, 9, and 10. You know what I mean? Because I was expecting I didn't even be able to do the rounds. You know what I mean? It was that easy. So you know, of course I'm gonna get tired at the end. You're gonna make your shots. It's funny because after 10. I was pretty tired, and I think I've said it a couple of times. I was pretty tired, and I thought to myself, I'm pretty satisfied with the 10 rounds I just gave. This guy wants 12. I said, if I get out right now, this guy's clown enough to say that, to go around telling people that I didn't finish the last 2 rounds and he stopped me in the gym. So let me just give him these last 2 rounds. What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that could happen is he made his highlight reel out of the last 2 rounds. You know, so you know, but it's funny because if you look at his Twitter, he put a picture of him behind Mayweather when Mayweather was ducking and saying something like boxing's a mad game. He still thinks he's making highlight reels. He forgot the whole world watched the fight. He forgot that this wasn't in the gym and nobody watched it. He forgot that everybody watched the fight. So I don't know what you putting up pictures and making highlights out of it.
That's kind of what he tried to do with you.
That's what he did with me. He got away with it with me. But I think in the moment he pressed send on Twitter that time, he forgot that the whole world already saw that fight. It wasn't in the gym where he could hide it, you know?
I gotta ask, and I've seen you talk about this on Twitter with your fans. There's this debate going on what a real fight is, and people saying that MMA is closer to a real fight than a boxing match. And I've heard you go on, saying that
I'll tell you this.
Somebody pulls out a gun, that's a real fight. You know,
a real fight is no rules.
A real fight is no rules.
A real fight is no. So a real fight is you can do anything you want. It's a real fight. I mean, I never saw anybody call timeout or a round end in the street, or somebody call timeout in the street, or somebody pulling out a stick or a bat or something saying, "Oh, you can't do that. It's against the rules." And I've still yet to see that street fight. That particular street fight, I've still yet to see it. You know, if I see it, I'll let you guys know. But that particular street fight, I'll let you guys know, because where I come from, you're gonna tell me what Conor McGregor do. Bro, Conor McGregor in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, when I grew up, bro, the lead pipes he would have took. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. You go do your karate or somewhere up in Tiger Showman. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're gonna talk about street fights.
Does he come from a well-to-do family, you think? Or like
yeah, he does. When you have the option to sit on your parents' couch and then pick up welfare checks, you don't stop. And also, the ring or the octagon, it will prove what suffering you went through in life. I always use this analogy. If you went through a lot in life, if you went through something tough in life, and ass whipping is not the worst thing in the world. And ass whipping is really not that bad. Like, obviously for fighters, we're more used to taking than the regular people, but ass whipping is not that bad to take. Tough moments, difficult moments, you have to try to fight through and maybe start dishing the ass whipping back when you get your ass kicked. There's moments people go through that in fights. To always want to jump out every time it gets tough, when you see a fighter doing that, you have to start questioning how he was raised. You have to start questioning how bad did he really have it. Because if you had it that bad, an ass whipping's never that bad. Never, ever, ever. If you had it that bad, an ass whipping's never. So anytime you see a fighter try to talk about where he came from, it was so difficult and all this stuff, and then as soon as he gets tough, he's looking at the first window to jump out of, like Conor and certain other people. Yeah, you start to question how bad did he really have it. You know?
Did he even have the skills of a pro boxer, or was he just like somebody come off the street? And
No, he literally just tried to do his karate in the ring. I mean, it was basically like he tried to do his karate without kicks. That's basically what it was.
Was it bizarre? What kind of face?
Yeah, I remember the first time I came out to spar him, he came out, this was his stance, no joke. Boxing gloves on, he got out like, he gave me one of these. You know, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I was like, I stood back, I was like, is he gonna try to take me down? You know, I was like, what's this guy doing right now? You know, so I mean, I don't know, he can't spell fight. Come on, I mean, listen, he's pretty good in the octagon, but it's only until you press him even in the octagon. When you have no balls, you have no balls in all facets of your life. It's not just in the ring. If you have no balls, you have no balls. You know what I mean? Then you're just gonna have balls in the octagon, but you're not gonna have them in the ring. No, it doesn't work that way. It's just to get him to a point of suffering. In the octagon, he has some skills, so you gotta push him there. It takes a little more to push him there. In the boxing ring where he sucks, you know, it's not that difficult to get him to the point where he's gonna show some character and he'll never have it.
Does it bother you that somebody that doesn't have that talent and doesn't have balls like you say is getting paid the way he is, and a real fighter like yourself or other real fighters out there?
No, I never count on people's money. And that's never what bothered me. You know, it's all about business, and I understand money doesn't grow on trees, and if it generates money, then people are going to get paid. That never bothered me because I live fine. Listen, if I was maybe dirt poor in the street or something like that, I'm like, man, I wish they could have gave me that shit. Dude, I have millions. I'm worth millions in terms of assets. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never gonna go just try to look at somebody else and what they have and say, oh man, I deserve that. I don't care about that. You know, as long as I'm paying my bills. Because at one time in my life, I really couldn't pay my bills. I'm not Conor McGregor status. Like literally, like I had to go in from house to house. You know what I mean? So like then when you all of a sudden you're paying your bills and you're paying your bills comfortably, you're happy. You know what I mean? You live a comfortable good life, you're happy. So I would never like care about what somebody else's money is or what they got in their bank account or where they get paid. I was always about getting mine, and this is obviously about getting more than getting mine. This was obviously about just, you know, being a man about what you said you did.
I told you to look after his intentions when I saw you in Long Island.
Yes.
And I was suspicious about that from the jump.
Yeah, but I mean, even I couldn't have pictured that. You know what I mean? Like, I thought what was the worst that's gonna happen. He's not gonna like me. He's gonna try to fight, make it a fight. Like, I love all these MMA fans. Though you should have known it was gonna be a fight. But you know the sparring we do, the sparring we do in gyms. That wasn't even like one of the top 1,000 difficult sparrings I've had in my life.
Old school Gleason, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was like a different level of sparring in those days, man. Even wild card days when I was a wild card, bro. This guy would have get eaten alive. You put him in one of those gyms. Are you kidding me? This guy sucks. I mean, like I said, he's got no balls, bro. You know what I mean? Then on the West Coast, he used to spar with 14-ounce gloves, and he got some good hard punchers in there too, man. I tell you, bro, they start dropping the weight of the gloves. This guy couldn't even punch with 8s, bro. He couldn't even punch with 8s. And I'll tell you why he couldn't punch with 8s. Because he's pulling back as he's countering. Because that uppercut that he hits Mayweather with, he's supposed to hurt him. But you know why he doesn't hurt him? Because he's already stepping back as he's throwing it. Because he has no balls. Because the counter-punching takes balls. You have to hold your ground.
Leverage it, right?
You have to hold your ground counter-punching. If you don't hold your ground, you get nothing on the shot.
He slapped like a girl?
Yeah, he slapped like a girl. He even winks like a girl when you hit him with her body. But the problem is, he has no balls. Even, like, people are like, oh, man, because I was in there, I was like, why does this guy not hit hard? And everybody says he's hit so hard. Why is he not hitting hard? Because you start watching him, he has no balls. You have to actually have the balls to stay in there. A real fight is maybe MMA, it's maybe this, whatever you think it is. Mano a mano boxing, that's why people die in this shit, bro. It's all strikes, bro. It's old school mano a mano. Go and do it, go and handle yours. You know what I mean? But you gotta have balls. You can't grab and go and kill time. You can't go you can't lock them up in a guard. And I'm not disrespecting MMA fighters because there's a lot you can do in the guard. But what I'm saying is you have less options to kill time in a boxing fight than you do in a mixed martial arts fight. There's various methods of killing time in a mixed martial arts fight, you know? Even though it's difficult to do well, of course. But you know, this guy is like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. You know?
You can probably articulate this. I mean, me and you are both from New York. When a fight broke out on the playground, it was standing up, and if it went to the floor,
I can't do it no more. I just can't do it no more. I don't be giving a fuck about none of those questions, man. My God. I just can't do it no more, man. I can't do it. I have to get the fuck out of there. I'm sorry, guys. I have to get the fuck out of there. Let me set my shit up. Can't do it no more, man. So long story short, I got a lot of footage. So basically, I've been shooting footage the last fucking 2 hours, yo. 2 hours straight. So we got Errol Spence. We got a lot from Keith Thurman. So the shit you see during this video, I should have did everything live because I'm a lot more organized. You know. But man, yo, I be forgetting, man. I gotta be cool. I be getting real frustrated with these dumbass questions these motherfuckers be asking. But at the same time, I understand it. You know, it's a part of the business, you know? So Spence getting 3.5 mil next. He announced Lamont Peterson. I got that whole press conference recorded. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook up my little workstation back here. This is where they do the Brooklyn Nets stats and shit. So I'm about to hook up my little workstation, start editing these videos, and I'm about to watch the Santa Cruz card. Let's go take a walk around the arena, matter of fact, real quick. Let's go see what's going on. Let's go take a walk around outside. At least you're not getting thrown out this one. Hell yeah, I got thrown out the MGM Grand. I didn't get thrown out the fight. But yeah, I can't do it no more. I didn't fucked up. I didn't fucking miss my own advice. You know? I was supposed to come in and get food first. Now I'm assed out. I'm hungry as shit. I'm alright. We in the back. Let's see how the crowd feeling out. It's early though. I'm actually thinking about sitting out there for once. Actually sitting in like the press section for once. I never sit out there like ever. But see, this is where you want to chill, because after the fighters, they're going to set something up right here. But after, this is where like the fighters do the interviews. They put like a Showtime thing right there. But I'm taking my ass to the back. Fuck that. Yeah, man, it's over. Like, and the thing is, like, it was so much food. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to come back. Wrong. Well, he's still running his mouth. Yeah, we done messed up, y'all. We're going to have to get some salad. We're going to have to just say, fuck it, get some salad, right? We're going to get some motherfucking salad. Fuck it, right? You know the salad going to be left. You know the fucking salad going to be left. Well, I don't want this shit to drop. What kind of fucking tongs is this? This shit is crazy.
Hey man, you gonna put this thing down before you start stabbing people with it?
Oh, my bad, bro. Trying to figure out what's up.
Like, oh, what's up?
Damn. Fuck, get some salad and some chips, right? Look, ain't nobody eating that. They left all the healthy shit. Those on the fucking side. I'm gonna have to go buy something to eat. This salad ain't going. This sound ain't gonna hold me over.
So that was definitely something I was like,
This sound ain't gonna hold me over. Right behind you. Right behind you. Right behind you. Right behind you. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Damn, I'm kind of mad about that. Oh, my bad, bro.
You gotta get in, you gotta get in.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed about that. Man, I missed the motherfucking food. We've been talking for like the last 2 hours in the same spot. Make sure I check make sure my tripod is cool. All right, yeah, we good. Yeah, we're about to chill. Anybody recognize you yet? You new around here, bro? The same media work all events. Like, it's usually always the same people here. You know, I think Thurman on here somewhere too. Yeah, we about to feast. I don't know where though. This motherfucking phone is going. What do I do? I'm hungry as shit. I'm hungry as hell. Kodo Gil. Conor McGregor. Y'all know what happened with that. Yeah, I'm pissed. I didn't follow my own advice. You know, the first thing you do is you got to get your food before Dan show up. And I fucked up. I didn't get my food. So now I'm assed out eating a motherfucking Caesar salad and potato chips. And I'm not spending no money out here. Fuck that. I gotta come back out here again next week. So I'm not spending no bread. Fuck that. Grills looks vulnerable. Yeah, did he stop Jamie Cox? Did he stop him?
I called Al and I was crying.
Yeah. We're gonna figure out something though. Let me I'm gonna pull up on my DVR that let me pull up on my DVR that fight. Hold on, let me motherfucking sit down first. Yeah. So what we're about to do is we're about to start editing these videos up. So what we're gonna do is setting up my little workstation here, edit some videos. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this stream so it'll be easy editing. So we already talked to Aerospence. I started this stream late actually, but I recorded the stuff I recorded everything, so we talked to everybody we were supposed to talk to. But since we was doing all that, we missed eating. So that's all that's left. You know, Big Dan don't eat no salad. So he left that. So what we want to do is we're going to get nice and comfortable in here in the back. We're going to hook up our workstation because we're going to be out here till like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And we're going to go from there. Y'all see me? See me? Bam. And like that. Up in this bitch. So, like I said, we already talked to the major people, the major players. We talked to Keith Thurman for a long ass time. So, all right, guys, I gotta watch I gotta go out here. I'm gonna go out here and watch this. I'm actually gonna sit in the arena for once and watch a fight. So I'm gonna go out there and watch this, and then I'm gonna come back. We're gonna be streaming real late tonight. I'm talking about like 1. I'm gonna say about 2 a.m. or so. You know, so let me while I'm organized, let me talk to you guys later.